The Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra is exactly what the name suggests. It's an ultra phone, a go anywhere and do anything type of phone. Now the OnePlus 12 is, well, it doesn't have any Pro Max or Ultra branding on it, so does that suggest that this phone isn't as good? Well, let's find out. So first, let's go ahead and talk about the price. Now, the S24 Ultra starts at $1,300, but Samsung is still doing those insane promotions where you can get up to $750 of trade-in credit if you want to buy this phone, and I believe you get a free case as well. So if you guys are interested, that definitely helps with the price tag. I'll go ahead and leave a link down below. The OnePlus 12, on the other hand, starts at just $800. That is a $500 difference. You could basically buy the OnePlus 12 and a mid-range phone for the same price as the S24 Ultra. That is wild to think about. But it doesn't stop there. In the box of the OnePlus 12, you get the phone. Duh, that would be weird if the phone wasn't in the box. But you also get a pre-installed screen protector, an 80-watt super fast charger, and of course, the USB-C to USB-A power cable. Now, in the box of the S24 Ultra, you get the phone and a charging cable. No pre-installed screen protector, no charger block, nothing. The build quality is fantastic on both of the phones, but the S24 Ultra does have more premium materials such as the titanium along the borders, but I think most of you are going to use the case anyway, so actually, let me know, do you use a case on your phones? Some people do, some people don't. Some people buy insurance for their phones, some don't. I'm just kind of curious to see what the majority of people do, so leave me your comments down below. So what about the screen and brightness levels of these two phones? Well, it seems like manufacturers are giving us displays that are so bright, they can basically act like SOS calls for whenever you're stuck on an island. So the S24 Ultra goes up to 2,700 nits of brightness. And of course, the OnePlus 12 goes up to 4,500. Yes, 4,500. I did not misspeak. That is wild. But of course, not all is bad with the S24 Ultra's display. In fact, this phone has a secret weapon to go up against that 4,500 figure from the OnePlus 12. And of course, I am talking about the anti-reflective display. And as you guys can tell, it makes a massive difference for both indoor and outdoor use. So the OnePlus 12 gets brighter, but is more reflective, and the S24 Ultra is not as bright, but still very bright enough, and has an anti-reflective display. So in normal day-to-day use, I do prefer the display of the S24 Ultra. Now, if you're a fan of flat displays like I am, the S24 Ultra is the one to go for. The OnePlus 12 unfortunately has a curved display which might look more premium, but it is not really comfortable to hold without a case, so you gotta kind of pick your poison there. Now, if you guys are enjoying the video so far, I would really appreciate you leaving this video a like. It is absolutely free to you, but it helps me out a lot, and I always truly appreciate it. And if you are new here, consider subscribing. Now, in terms of the actual performance and kind of storage of the two phones, the OnePlus 12 does take a slight lead with the RAM. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM compared to 12 gigabytes of RAM on the S24 Ultra, but the S24 Ultra goes up to 1 terabyte of local storage, whereas this one tops out at 512 gigabytes. Whenever it comes to heat management, both of these phones are absolutely just monsters whenever it comes to actually handling the heat. Remember, heat is the phone's #1 enemy, so the cooler your phone stays, the better. Now, I do believe whenever summertime comes around, the OnePlus 12 is going to perform a little bit better than the S24 Ultra in heat management because the OnePlus 12 has a much larger vapor chamber to help keep the phone cool. But again, that's just speculation. We'll test that out whenever it actually gets warm outside. Right now, it's really cold. Really, really cold. None of these phones are going to overheat, I can promise you. So one thing to keep in mind whenever purchasing a new phone is the convenience factor. How convenient is the phone to use? How convenient is the battery life? And how convenient is the charging? Well, I'm happy to say the battery life on these two phones is just outstanding. They will both last you throughout the entire day, no issues at all. But if you are a super heavy user, the OnePlus 12 might be the phone for you. It just lasts a little bit longer thanks to its 5,400 milliamp hour battery compared to the 5,000 milliamp hour battery on the S24 Ultra. To put things in perspective, the S24 Ultra lasts me about 7 hours, whereas the OnePlus 12 lasts me about 7.5 hours to 7 hours and 45 minutes on average. Sometimes I get a little bit more, sometimes I get a little bit less, and that goes for any phone that I use, not just these two. If you're a super heavy user, and I mean super heavy user, and you drain the battery completely down, and you want to find the phone that will charge the fastest, at least here in the States, the OnePlus 12 is an absolute unit. I even wrote this down. So the charging test from 0 to 50% in about 12 minutes. That's right. From 0% dead, the battery's dead, to 50%, the OnePlus 12 takes 12 minutes. And then of course 0 to 100% in about 28 to 30 minutes. That is just, that's out of this world, at least here in the States. I know you guys overseas have phones that can charge in like a blink of an eye, but I don't think that's safe, to be completely honest with you. Now the S24 Ultra, I wrote this down as well, so 0 to 50% in about 25 minutes, and then 0 to 100% in about an hour and 5 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes. It depends how many notifications are coming to your phone. So yeah, the OnePlus 12 definitely charges much faster. Also, do keep in mind, to achieve those fast speeds on the S24 Ultra, you actually have to go out and buy your own charger block, a 45 watt PD charger block. So that does not come in the box like it does on the OnePlus 12. And that one is an 80 watt charger. In Europe, it's a 100 watt charger. In America, it's 80, or I should say the United States, it's an 80 watt charger. So the United States is getting gimped a little bit, don't know why. The S24 Ultra does have something that many die-hard fans are going to love until the earth stops spinning, and of course I am talking about the S Pen. It is a pretty convenient tool for taking photos because the button on the pen also acts like a shutter button, and it's also helpful for things like signing documents. Now personally, I never really use it, especially for signing documents. I know a lot of people do, but most documents now are like over email and they're like e-signed, so you just literally tap on it and it signs it for you. You know what I mean? Software is also one of those things that is a pretty big deal for many people out there, and I do feel like Oxygen OS on the OnePlus 12 is just more kind of fun. You have more customization features built right into the settings without having to download any other apps or launchers. However, One UI on the S24 Ultra is more mature, I guess I would call it. It does have some pretty great features such as having widgets on the lock screen. This is something that I do wish the OnePlus 12 did, because those widgets actually do come in handy, especially if you have the always-on display enabled. But there is one thing I noticed: the always-on display on the OnePlus 12 is much brighter than the S24 Ultra, which means you don't have to strain your eyes as much if you want to take a look at your phone at night. It is remarkably kind of brighter. I don't know if it shows well over camera, but in person, I mean, you can clearly see it. And now we move on to my favorite topic: cameras. Look, I'll be honest, it does not matter which phone you buy in 2024. Mostly all phones are going to give you amazing results, and these two phones are no different. I do feel like the OnePlus 12 produces a more realistic image compared to the S24 Ultra, which produces a more social media ready image, if that makes sense. The OnePlus 12 doesn't sharpen the photos as much, which many might prefer, but whenever it comes down to range and zoom, the S24 Ultra takes the cake because of that 5x telephoto camera compared to the 3x telephoto camera on the OnePlus 12. Video recording on the S24 Ultra is also better than the OnePlus 12 because you can actually switch between all the lenses while recording in 4K 60. The OnePlus 12 unfortunately cannot do that. With the OnePlus 12, if you select 4K 60 and you click start, you start recording, you can only digitally zoom in by using that little scroll wheel, which I don't even really like, to be honest. I'd rather have it be precise instead of a scroll wheel. But, it is what it is. Now, I am thinking about working on a camera comparison between the OnePlus 12 and the S24 Ultra. If you guys want to see it, let me know. But I do have to say, the S24 Ultra has a massive firmware update coming on the 22nd of February, which is like in a couple of days. So that's going to be interesting for the OnePlus 12. Who's gonna win? I guess we'll find out. Leave me your comments down below if you guys want to see that. Now, as you guys may have noticed, the world is moving towards AI. You cannot log on to the internet. Log on to the internet. What am I, 80? Who logs on to the internet? No one does that, Mark. What am I talking about? What I meant to say is you can't be on the internet and not hear the words AI at least 100 times a day. I am really surprised OnePlus didn't incorporate some sort of AI into the phone like the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra did, the Pixel 8 Pro did, and I think a few other phones are doing, and even the upcoming iPhone is incorporating AI, but the OnePlus 12 isn't. So I guess that cost-cutting $800 price tag, well, it's kind of showing its face a little bit. The S24 Ultra has many AI features such as circle to search, moving an object around in a photo after you've taken it, or even automatic video slow motion by simply pressing and holding on the display. Now that's pretty cool. Now, of course, everyone knows this, the AI features on the S24 Ultra are only free until 2025. So how much they will cost, what features are going to be paid for, what features are going to be free, no one really knows. time will tell. So to conclude this video, look, if you're looking for the best of the best, money is no issue for you, you won the lottery, you just want the best of the best, the S24 Ultra is clearly going to be your choice. But, you know, if you don't really care about having the S Pen, you don't really care about the flat display or the anti-reflective display, you don't really care about the zoom cameras, you just want a super good phone, for $800 you cannot go wrong. This phone basically marks off everything that I want in a phone. Amazing cameras, amazing battery life, crazy fast charging speeds. I mean, heck, you even get that little mute, vibrate, and ring toggle, which I love. It's so nice. I like just feeling it around instead of having to open my phone and then toggle it that way. There's a lot of convenience factors in the OnePlus 12, so you really cannot go wrong with it because I love this phone. If you guys have any questions, don't be afraid, leave me your comments down below. I don't bite that hard. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, again, leave that like. If you're new here, consider subscribing. This was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.